Ladies and gentlemen, we're thrilled to introduce our next panel discussion titled Decoding the Perfect Cinema Cocktail. How cinema technology shapes box office and content. In today's rapidly evolving landscape, technology plays a very crucial role in enhancing the cinematic experience and driving box office success, from innovative projection systems to immersive sound and audience engagement tools. We'll explore how these advancements are transforming the way we create and consume content. Creating a successful recipe for a cinema cocktail involves strategic collaboration, creative development, and comprehensive marketing. However, we often overlook one silent ingredient that can make or break this punchy cocktail, which is technology. So today, this is what we're about to explore: the right technological advancements that can drive audience desire for big screen movie watching, whether it is a single screen, multiplex, or a superplex. Our panel of experts are here to share their thoughts, tech upgrades, strategies, and insights, not only to enhance viewer experience, but also support investment in the cinema ecosystem. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming on stage the moderator for this discussion, Mr. Akshay Rathi, Director of Ashirvad Theatres. May I please invite our honorable panelists on stage. We have Mr. Daggubati Suresh Babu, film producer from Suresh Productions. Mr. Friedrich Deininger, Senior Director of Cinema and Partner Management for EMEA and India at Dolby Laboratories. Mr. Henry Noel, Director of Business Development Cinema Asia Pacific at HARMAN, Singapore. Tejal Satish, Chief Operating Officer at Broadway Cinemas. Vishnu Patel, Group CEO of Special Projects at UFO Movies. Mr. Yusuf Galabaiwala, Director of Operations at Galalite Screens. I invite our moderator, Mr. Akshay Rathi, to kindly take over. Mr. Rathi, while we are waiting for our speaker, Suresh sir, to join us, could you very quickly give us your thoughts and a brief overview on this topic while we're waiting for him?
Sure. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure this is going to be a tall order to live up to, what we've just witnessed out of Baby John. If that's anything to go by, clearly good times are ahead of us. December 25th certainly looks like a sizzler. So congratulations to all of you for the revenues that are coming our way. But about the topic today, decoding the perfect cinema cocktail, how cinema technology shapes box office and content. A topic that's truly relevant to all of us at this, at this point of time, where we have this marriage of storytelling and technology happening in the deepest way possible. And we have a very, very illustrious panel out here, which works behind all the technology that allows us to experience the light, sound, the comforts, the amenities, and a phenomenal cinema-going experience. We have Mr. Yusuf Galabaiwala from Galalite Screens, one of the most premier screen manufacturing companies in the country. We have Mr. Vishnu Patel from UFO Movies, and they are doing some cutting-edge stuff around building cinema screens in the tier 2 and tier 3 towns of India. We have Mr. Henry Noel from HARMAN, which is one of the most premier companies for the sound aspect of the cinema-going experience. We have Friedrich from Dolby, and Dolby, as all of us know, and most of us probably have their installations in our cinema halls, does some cutting-edge sound. We have Tejal, and we really look forward to this phenomenal experience. About the delay, apologies, but we have Mr. Suresh Babu Garu, a true legend from Telugu cinema. I truly feel privileged to have him among us. So on this panel now, technically, besides the people we spoke about, we have a producer, a studio, exhibitor, a distributor, which is all rolled into one, Suresh Babu Garu. Please give a round of applause to this illustrious panel. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Let's start from the screen angle of things. Yusuf bhai, Galalite has been a premier company that's been manufacturing screens for the cinema halls. And over the years, from the cloth screens that we used to have to where it is today, and you told me about the phenomenal technology and the sustenance angles that you've incorporated, I'd love you to speak about where the evolution of the cinema screen angle, one from the point of view of partnering with cinemas, and second from the consumption point of view of the audience. What are the steps that have been taken to make this a compelling cinema going experience today?
Hi, good evening, everyone, and fellow panelists. And so, the screen which goes inside the cinema is always called a silver screen. And for a very long time, it was not a silver screen. But after 2009, and after we started making silver screens, which are coated screens, silver as a substance is reflective in nature. It reflects light. It reflects 2 to 3 times the regular screen surface. And since 2009, what we've been focusing on is not having a hotspot. So what a hotspot is basically the concentration of light at the center of the screen. Since then, so what lens ray is basically, it diffuses light. Now, why, although we launched lens ray in 2019, which is 5 years, what lens ray, why is it relevant now is that the audience for the the 2 years that they they saw content on televisions, became a little comfortable watching it on televisions. Now they're used to looking at 75 65-inch televisions, very common in houses, where the center to edge uniformity is never a problem. In today's time, where the gap between cinema launch and content being coming onto OTT, if we are not able to give them a good center to edge uniform screen, they just don't want to come back to the cinema. And of course, I would say 90 to 95% of the time when the audience is coming, they're looking at the screen. So it's one of the most cheapest, I would say, but one of the most important component when it comes to a cinema fit out. And because it is not really never in the limelight, it's mainly the speakers and the projectors, and the screen is never considered part of a technical, a technological product, because kapda hai, parda laga lo. So it is always used, those terms have been used. So it is never given its due, when it comes to how a screen or how diffusion of light on reflective surface plays a role. So of course, I mean, as a screen manufacturer, I would like to, I always explain to my customers and stakeholders in the cinema to pay attention on what screen manufacturers giving you, because generally the data, when they talk about gain, they tell it's a 3.4 or it's a 4, which is generally the center portion of the light, which is which is what they are measuring. And what we give, the data that we give, is 9 parts of the screen and how light is reflected across the entire surface.
That's incredible. And as somebody who runs a chain of cinemas, I can absolutely emphasize on the importance of the most basic elements, which are the picture and the sound. That's eventually what all of us want to experience best. And you're doing a phenomenal job with that. Mr. Patel, you are at the helm of something which can actually be considered to be a nation-building project. The entertainment utility centers you're building under Nova Cinemas, which is a brand of UFO movies. We truly are, in some sense, every time we have a movie like a Jawan or an Animal or a Pathan, those are the moments when we feel that we wish we had some more screens in the country, and especially in the grassroots of India, which are very under-screened or not screened with the optimal quality of infrastructure. You are at the helm of building that. Let's have you speak about Nova Cinemas, please.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, there is this whole misconception that, when you go to the rural areas or semi-urban areas, everything has to be cheap, okay, including your technology used in the cinema halls, sound technology, projection technology, of course the screen technology. So, this misconception is there, but we are working around that. We are finding solutions, we are finding technological solutions to kind of give a best of the experience to the audience at a very, very affordable rates. Okay, rates like 100 rupee ticket or at the most 120 rupee ticket. But we are not compromising on any of the basic aspects, which is the projection system, sound system, your sitting comfort, your environment comfort, and of course the decent F&B experience. We are not compromising on any of this things. We already have launched a couple of screens in North, which which are doing very well. So, when it comes to a title like technology, cocktail, and stuff like that, the first thing comes to your mind is, oh God, this now it's going to become more expensive. People are going to come up with new technologies are going to cost me more. What the help, which is going to help the screen density in India, is finding suitable technologies at a suitable rate for all these, places. And that's one of the challenges we are facing. We are working around that, and we constantly, we are doing immersive sound. Not very expensive. We are finding solutions to that. We are finding homegrown solutions. We are also getting solutions from the Dolbys and, reputed labs. So we are working around that. Take an example of environment control. Today, when you think about tier 2, tier 3 cities, people don't think at 100 rupees, these people are going to give you an AC environment. We are giving AC environment. We are finding new technologies in the AC, like solar AC. We are working with solar AC. We are working with solar AC manufacturers to bring the consumption down. Okay, because one of the biggest OPEX in a cinema hall is the air conditioning, running the air conditioning. So we are working around that, and yet not compromising on the quality of cinema viewing anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Tejal, Mr. Patel spoke about the grassroots in the tier 2, tier 3 towns where they're going. Broadway Cinemas, on the other hand, has been a pioneer and has built screens in urban and semi-urban markets, and is, a pioneer of the growth of the sector going ahead. While the big companies like PVR and Inox are always in the news, and we all get to keep a track of what they're doing in terms of technological advancements, it's actually amazing once in a way to see what the, so to say, regional chains or the rising and the growing chains are doing. Like we heard earlier in the day, from Mr. Amit Sharma and Mr. Rahul Puri about the alternative programming play that they're doing. And today, technology actually enables us to really, with the advent of digitization in the country, do some phenomenal things in the semi-urban markets as well, and even tier 3. We'd love to hear more about the pioneering efforts that Broadway Cinemas is taking to change the cinema-going experience for the audiences that patronize you.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Yes, you're right. Broadway Cinemas is the first cinema in the country to have an IMAX laser, to have invested in an IMAX laser in a tier 2 city. That's in Coimbatore. All the other 22, 23 odd screens are in metros or tier 1 cities. And we have another PLF, Epic Premium Large Format, which is the Tamil Nadu's largest screen in our property. So our choice with investing in technologies, such advanced technologies, such expensive technologies in a tier 2 city, was that we wished to give a premium experience to the public. Because when you look at movies, if you start looking at it as a product, as a content, it can be duplicated. We have the competition from OTT, we have the issues with piracy, etc. However, we think that an experience that a cinema theater gives, that cannot be duplicated. In fact, we've also invested in having a gold screen in our property, which is the first luxury screen in the state. That's because why we've done this is that it allows us as exhibitors to also charge a premium from the patrons who are willing to pay in order to have that premium experience. However, we are also mindful of the fact that despite making independent decisions to invest in such expensive systems, we cannot overcharge the patrons, because cinema must continue to remain an affordable and an accessible form of cultural entertainment. Cinema is a habit. The theatrical viewing experience is a habit. When we start to think of it as a once in a lifetime, once in a year experience, then we sabotage our own business. So that's why as we plan to grow and scale to more screens in the upcoming years, we think that investing in the right technologies, not all technologies, we will always have something experimental more suited for like an exhibition or so coming up every year. But choosing the right technologies that can provide an immersive cinema experience for the patrons at an affordable price would make us a preferred destination in the coming years.
Thank you, Tejal. And now it's time for some sound advice, no puns intended. Henry, HARMAN, of course, is a company that all of us exhibitors are very familiar with. Many of us have your products in our cinema halls, enhancing the movie-going experience. You told me a while ago about some new technologies that are at play with HARMAN, where you are taking the sound experience to be at par with the amazing things that are happening on projection and with the screens. Let's have you speak about those, please.
Thank you, Akshay, and good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'll address your point. So with the cutting-edge technological advancements of digital imaging, high-resolution visuals or high-resolution images, and laser projection, and solid screen displays. So we all have this on the projection side, but we should also give a superior quality of sound, a sonic experience for the patrons, so that the overall cinematic experience is enhanced. Okay? So sound, giving a good quality of sound experience for the patrons is equally important. HARMAN, being a pioneer in theatrical sound, has its legacy since 1928, where we supported the first talking movies, and thereafter number of Academy and Grammy Awards were received. So what is that we do something different? If you look at the current system, especially the high frequency system, which is being driven by dome-type drivers, the high frequency, you need more power so that it reaches the audience at the back. But at the same time, it's very harsh. It's not very smooth. So HARMAN as a proprietary technology to tackle this, it's called a D2 driver, which uses dual diaphragm and dual voice coil that can give very smooth HF response and also increasing the clarity of sound. Okay? And that's on par with what you could hear in the studios. Okay? And also giving an experience of the line array systems. So that is what the D2 drivers are able to provide. Okay, so now you can ask me, is there a retrofit available? Yes, these D2 drivers are available as retrofits for your existing JBL 3000, 4000, 5000 series of speakers that you use on the stage. It's available as retrofits. Okay, that gives a very good high frequency response, very smooth, and a high clarity in sound. Okay. On the amplification part, HARMAN has launched the new DSI 2.0 amplifiers, which uses the best-in-class DSP processing, and they have a very high power to handle low impedance load, and they are the latest of the technology available. And during our session earlier, I was talking to Tejal. Hey, how does technology help you with your box office? So what Tejal said, the better the technology, that brings more crowd, more people, more footfalls, and that helps their box office revenue. So that's a topic that we are looking at, right? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry. Friedrich, while Henry spoke about the technological advancements that are coming into play in the context of sound, the common notion in the industry is that the growth of the exhibition sector, in terms of the number of screens that will get added or the investments that will go in, will predominantly be driven by tier 2, tier 3 India. We have one company right here that is at the helm of it. And somewhere when these new markets that have, so to say, a lesser propensity to pay is where the growth is, it becomes extremely important to make sure that quality is balanced with cost. And Dolby, again, is a company that has literally found its way into so many cinema halls in the country, including the one in the smaller towns. Would love to speak about how you intend to collaborate with exhibitors that are driving the growth in tier 2, tier 3 towns to bring that balance of cost with great quality to enhance the cinema going experience and make sure that what people experience in those towns is at par with the best all over.
Right, thank you very much for the question and good afternoon. So we at Dolby generally, we see ourselves as a technology creator, but listening to the creative community. So we are not doing technology for technology's sake, but we are, let's say, go back to the launch of Atmos. So when we were talking about sound, at that time we went to the creative, to the film producers like Babu, like to say, what do you need in order to tell this story in a better way? Because we see ourselves, we want to bring technology to the market which enhances the movie-going experience, because that at the end of the day is good for the exhibitor, is good for the creative community. And when we went out to talk about what's the next step, the production and the creative community was saying, we don't need more channels, we just need to place an object in a room. And this is how we came up with Atmos. Basically going away from channel-based into object-based audio sound. And what we see, that we launched it 12 years ago, and the adoption is huge. And especially here in India, we have now more than 900 screens. It's just amazing how the adoption is driving. And I think the reason, therefore, is the creative community love it, and the exhibitor love it, and most of all, the audience love it. Because when the audience love it, they come to the cinema, and they will make the business. Now, shifting gears a little bit, after the coming up with Atmos, we are thinking about what can we do in order to enhance the picture? And again, same story, went back to the creative community and said, what do you need? And they said, well, probably we don't need more pixels, probably we don't need faster pixels, more higher frequency, we need better pixels. Because we know, so the cameras can do much more capturing in terms of black and whites, contrast ratio, as well as in color. But they said, we cannot show it on the screen. If you can give us something, what we can show that on the screen, then again, the movie-going experience is enhanced, audience will love it, and it's good for the business. So we came up with Dolby Vision, and in a whole package then with Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, and some design elements with Dolby Cinema. And we have actually deployed this for 10 years around the world, and one of the keys to get this going is certainly content. And we are just in the process of bringing the first Dolby Vision grading opportunity, or actually implementation, here in India. And we're working with some exhibitors to see what can be done in this sense. We know that a year ago, 1.5 years ago, Triple R was the first Indian movie with Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. It traveled the world, was a big success. And now we'll see how we can elaborate that in this context, in this territory here.
Thank you so much, Friedrich. Saving the best for the last, Suresh Babu Garu, we have people who are vendors to exhibitors or exhibitors sitting on the stage. You play this, multifaceted role of being a studio owner, producer, exhibitor, and a distributor. Most importantly, what I guess most people don't know here about is that you sit on a company called Anthill Studios, which is a incubator for tech that caters to the entertainment world. Last year, we had a bit of an incident where most of Hollywood actually went on strike because there was talk of AI coming in, disrupting the way movies are made, the movies are conceptualized, and really taking away a lot of jobs. let's face it, AI is a reality, and all these technological advancements that are coming into play will change the way content is consumed. Of course, cinemas will exist because outdoor recreation is a thing that we all need as a species, but there will be a lot of changes in the way it's consumed. So, your broad insights on the kind of technological advancements that are at play, which will shape the way and mold the movie-going experience for the future.
Akshay, see, it's very nice that all the players who want to give a great experience to the audience is doing their bit and piece, from the screen to the sound to the picture. Everyone is doing their piece. But now AI is coming. It's probably going to help the process a little better. It's still not there that it's going to change the whole way we make it. The real concern is, in spite of so much of technological advancement, are we really concerned and bothered about the footfalls coming into the screens? Why is it that the footfalls are dropping consistently? Content will be good or bad, but the number of people watching cinema is reducing. We have more money coming in because of certain other things, but the number of people coming in is reducing at a very alarming rate. So really all of us have to look into that and see, can we continue to have this form of entertainment, this kind of participative entertainment for the people? Will it last, and how long will it last? Is there thought put into that? How do you keep that going? See, finally, this is a certain art form. We had the circus, we had drama, we had so many other things. Now this is slowly reducing. Just as an example, in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, we had 3,000 screens in the year 2000. Today we have 1,750 screens. The population has doubled, and then the number of seats have also halved. They might be, in screens we've halved, but the number of seater people also have reduced. So that's not a good trend. All the technology players have to really look at a model where we can see more people will enjoy this entertainment, this form of entertainment in this shape. Otherwise, many things are going to change. We don't know what disruption. AI is going to do some disruption. Everyone is going to do it. But where is it that we are heading? So that's the larger thing on my mind, on how these things are happening. We are looking at solutions, but I'm not really seeing the right solution for that.
So very often, it's spoken that the answer to technology bringing changes is given also by technology. So while the streaming platforms are making deeper inroads and are possibly cannibalizing the audience that goes to theaters, maybe the solution to bringing people back to theaters in big numbers will also come through technology. And there are a lot of things. Of course, there's, the amazing stuff that companies like HARMAN and Dolby are doing, what IMAX does, Christie, Barco, Gala Light, all these companies are actually bringing in enhancements that make the movie-going experience a lot more spectacular and a lot more cinematic. So where can the marriage of this technology help content creation that makes the experience more theatrical in nature and makes it compelling for people to experience it only on the big format?
See, offhand, I think of today social media is making a very important part in our viewing experience. Now, how can we do a deep dive into the data analytics? How will we be able to go directly to the consumers? Are we really going there? Are we going to be able to pick up the right audience, bring them into screens? We're trying to look for models like that. In that media tech company, we were trying to do whether we can get scripts right through technology. We've not yet cracked it, whether you can. Now, what will this data do to help marketing? I think in another session, people were talking about how do you get your marketing right? Are we doing the right marketing? Are we really having the right data points to get the right people into the screen? See, finally, if you don't have people coming into the screen, then it's not going to work. So what do we do to get that? So how's technology, what kind of technology we really need to work on to see that more people come and watch films? Okay, good content, they will come. But that's not the only thing. It has to be something else also. Or is that the only thing?
Right, so I guess the recent example of Stree, which was a film that didn't have a big star, purely on the back of storytelling and some great VFX, did what it did. So the answer, I guess, is in front of us. We just need to define it better, and let's hope we can all do that as a fraternity. Thank you, gentlemen, for those amazing insights, and we'll open the house for a couple of questions from the audience that they may have for you. Because we're already running ahead of, a little behind schedule for the next session. So with a show of hands, can we have time for 2 questions, I'm told. So with a raise of hands, go for it, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever wants to do it, we'll have the mic coming to you.
No one has a question to ask.
Wow, they've been as comprehensive and elaborate and accurate with their answers so far. Anyone? Okay, I guess then that's that. Thank you, everyone, for the amazing insights. Truly a privilege and pleasure to have all of you here. Look forward to seeing you again the next expo. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for your pearls of wisdom, for sharing your experiences and your thoughts with us on this platform here at the Big Cine Expo 2024. As a small token of our appreciation and our heartfelt gratitude to all our speakers here today, may I please invite Mrs. Asha Ranjit, Managing Director, the Big Cine Expo, to please come on stage and to kindly present these mementos to our speakers. Firstly, we would like to thank Shri Daggubati Suresh Babu, Mr. Friedrich Deininger, Mr. Henry Noel, Ms. Tejal Satish, Mr. Vishnu Patel, Mr. Yusuf Galabhaiwala, and finally, a big thank you to Mr. Akshay Rathi for beautifully guiding this conversation with these industry stalwarts. We're truly grateful to all of you for your time and presence. Can we please have a huge round of applause for all our panelists for this session? It was truly enlightening.